When you hear the phrase world record, you probably think of speed, strength, maybe eating contests. But some people looked at the idea of a record and thought, what if I did something that sounds absolutely insane? Here are 5 of the strangest human world records ever recorded. And as you listen, tell us in the comments, which one of these could you survive? Let's start underground, literally. Number 1, the longest time buried alive. Imagine agreeing to be buried underground, on purpose. One man set the world record by staying buried alive for over 48 hours, inside a coffin, underground, with barely enough air to survive, no phone, no sunlight, no way out, just darkness, and the sound of your own breathing. Think about that for a second. Most people can't make it 5 minutes in an MRI machine before panic sets in. This man stayed buried for 2 full days. And if that didn't make your skin crawl, let's talk about pain. Number 2, the most piercings on one person. Quick question, how many piercings do you think are too many? 10? 20? Try over 450 piercings on a single human body. Face, torso, arms, places you probably don't even want to imagine. And here's the part people get wrong. This wasn't about pain tolerance, it was about patience. Because getting that many piercings doesn't happen in one day. It takes years. So ask yourself honestly, would you even make it past number 10? Now let's move to something that sounds harmless, until you really think about it. Number 3, the longest fingernails. Ever look at your hands for a second? Annoying when your nails get a little too long, right? One man decided to stop cutting his fingernails entirely, for decades. By the time he set the record, the combined length of his fingernails measured over 29 feet. That's longer than a school bus. Now imagine everyday life. How do you sleep? How do you eat? How do you not accidentally stab yourself? This wasn't just a record, it was a lifestyle choice. Now, let's switch from endurance to pure discomfort. Number 4, the most t-shirts worn at the same time. Let me ask you something. How many shirts do you think you could put on before you couldn't move? 5? 10? One man put on 260 t-shirts at once. Not layered neatly, pulled over his head one after another until his arms barely worked and his neck disappeared. By the end, he could hardly breathe, couldn't bend his elbows. He looked more like a walking pile of laundry than a human being. And here's what makes it wild. This wasn't about strength. It was about endurance, overheating, and not panicking when your body feels trapped. Most of us get uncomfortable in a tight hoodie. This guy wore hundreds. And finally, let's end with one that goes against pure survival instinct. Number 5, the longest time holding breath underwater. You're taught your entire life that holding your breath is dangerous. Your body literally panics to stop you. But one man trained himself to ignore that signal. He held his breath underwater for over 24 minutes. No oxygen tank, no breathing tricks, just pure control. Think about that. Your brain is screaming for air, your chest is burning, your instincts are telling you to breathe. And he stayed calm. Most people struggle past 30 seconds. He sat there for almost half an hour. So yeah, world records aren't always about being the fastest or the strongest. Sometimes they're about being the most patient and the most stubborn. Which one of these made you uncomfortable the most?